And the theory that I've always subscribed to, and people like Tammy Baldwin, the senator from Wisconsin, subscribe to, is get the people who don't always vote, who agree with us on the issues, out to vote. But you have to earn their votes. You have to show you really, really mean it, and you have to talk to them about issues that they care about. Bernie's doing all those things. He proved it in Wisconsin when he ran, and I think that's what we really need to make sure we defeat Donald Trump in November.
I'm Jessel Noor in Manchester, New Hampshire, at the Bernie Sanders Watch Party. I'm with Rep. Mark Pocan from Wisconsin. So one of the things we've noticed leading up to this debate is increasing tensions between the campaigns of Bernie Sanders and Pete Buttigieg. You had a very close caucus. We don't know what the final results are, but can you talk about that? The fact that they are right now two of the front runners, and they've been through. They've been going at it a little bit.
Yeah, I think what you're seeing, and you're going to see it through all sorts of different candidates, especially with the debate tonight. Articulating the differences in the campaigns. I think Bernie's running a campaign that's largely values driven on issues that will make life better for everyone, make government operate more fair and more inclusively, and not just work for special interests. And that's the signature that he's worked on his entire career. And Pete Buttigieg, I think, is advocating on his issues, but is a little more moderate. And I think you're going to see a difference within the party, on what the future direction is. So for many of us, we're just trying to make sure that we beat Donald Trump, and we think the best way you do that is to have a candidate who can really show that sharp distinction and working on behalf of people. And I think they're just having a debate within the party right now on issues that's still a very friendly debate.
I know there's a lot of anger at the DNC right now and at the whole process in Iowa, and people are afraid that something similar to 2016 might happen in 2020. What's your message to concerned progressives in the Democratic Party that have been waging this fight for decades?
Yeah, I think, and we had this question a lot in Iowa. Just keep working, work your primary, work your caucus, get out the votes, because we can win this outright, and the convention then will just be a great opportunity to have Bernie really be lifted onto the national stage to actually win in November. But I'm not so concerned about DNC processes right now. Clearly, the count of the ballots was a real problem in Iowa. But he won the most votes in Iowa, and I think he's going to get the most votes in New Hampshire. And we just need to keep doing those kind of efforts, and we'll be in really good shape prior to the convention.
So a lot of pundits and a lot of people I've talked to that support Biden or Mayor Pete say he's more electable because he's in the center. He's closer to what we consider a moderate in this country. You addressed your response to that in some of your statement here. Can you talk about that? Why you think Sanders is more electable?
Yeah, I think some people are like, can we convince some people in the middle, a small sliver more, to vote with us rather than for the other person? And the theory that I've always subscribed to, and people like Tammy Baldwin, the senator from Wisconsin, subscribe to, is get the people who don't always vote, who agree with us on the issues, out to vote. But you have to earn their votes. You have to show you really, really mean it, and you have to talk to them about issues that they care about. Bernie's doing all those things. He proved it in Wisconsin when he ran, and I think that's what we really need to make sure we defeat Donald Trump in November.
Finally, the issue of foreign policy. You were part of that protest against the war in Iran. Can you contrast Bernie Sanders' position with Mayor Pete's position on foreign policy and issues like a potential war in Iran?
Well, I can talk about Bernie Sanders' position, and I've worked with him on trying to end the war in Yemen, trying to make sure we didn't get involved in another war in Iran, trying to get us out of other conflicts around the world. But we just can't keep putting the amount of money we do into defense spending that could be spent on things like healthcare and education and the Green New Deal. And we need to bring more people home. And I think Bernie Sanders has been very clear on all these issues. And I think that's the majority view in the United States.
Thanks so much.
Okay, yeah, no problem.